Hi, this is Michele Theberge, and I'm here to show you about string gel or tar gel, which is a type of acrylic medium. What makes string gel is Liquitex's name for it, and Golden Acrylics calls theirs tar gel, but they do essentially the same thing, which is they have what's called a long rheology. So it acts like honey, and you can do these super long strands, and you can drip it around. So if you think of Jackson Pollock, I'm not going to fling it around. I don't want to make a big mess on this table right now, but we're going to add color so it'll be more obvious, but let's just do some on the board. You can sort of draw these lines with it and so forth, and they will just stay there. So let's see what happens when we add color to it. So I'm going to put it in a little jar, and what I've found is really important is to use the most fluid color you have, because you don't want to change the viscosity or thickness of this. So I use the ink, the acrylic ink, to tint it because it doesn't change the viscosity. It's highly concentrated color. So it's just like a super fluid version of acrylic paint.
How much are you adding?
Well, I can add as much as I like. If I want a transparent line, then I'll add just a little color. So that was just one, not even a full dropper's full. So that makes a very, let's just show the line. It's like a very transparent line. Let's go over here on the color, and it might be a little more obvious. When that dries, you'll be able to see the yellow underneath. And then I'll add more so we can see how you can intensify the color if you choose. By the way, the acrylic ink, the pigments are really fine and the binder is very fluid, so you sometimes have to gently shake it to incorporate the color. So now I've added 2 droppers full to the remainder. I'm going to mix that really well. I'm using a palette knife for this. You could use a chopstick or the end of a paintbrush also. And let's see here. So the color's gotten a little bit more intense. Not a whole lot. I could add even more to it. I kind of like it to be transparent because you can see what's underneath. And if you hold the knife higher, you get different type of dripping. It's good to really load up the knife to get the most on there, and then it'll strand for longer. Whoops, I'm sort of blopping it there. Obviously, you don't have a ton of control with it. It's not designed for precise drawing necessarily, but if I hold the closer I hold the knife to the surface, the slower the drip, and then the further away it gets faster. Now I'm running out of material, so let's get more on there and you can see how it, and sometimes it helps to sort of, if you want to have more control, you sort of let it drip first into the jar or off your surface, and then you get these little squiggly. There's a lot of different things that will happen with it. Anyway, it's fun to use. Now, just because it says string gel doesn't mean you have to use it in this fashion. This isn't anything that I have used for my own artwork. It's not a look that I'm particularly interested in at this time, so I use it more like a leveling gel. And I have another video, which I'll link here, that shows me using the string gel plus the pouring medium in another piece that I... So what we have over here is the string gel when it's wet, and you see it's kind of milky or white looking. That's because of the water in it. Once the water evaporates, it will go clear. So here we have the clear string gel on top of a red, and here we have the wet string gel on top of the red. So once this dries, that will go clear, and you'll just have these strands like this, which is why people like to tint it so it has some color to it. And you can mix whatever color you want with it. Last but not least, I want to give you a little tip because this stuff is a super, super sticky medium, and if you don't wipe the jar before sealing, so I keep these little narrow, I just cut off the end of a sponge. I use a damp sponge to clean all around here before I close the jar again. And then I do the same thing on the inside of the lid just to make sure there's nothing dried in there. I think there's a little bit of junk from before, so I'm just peeling that off because it's already dry. Put the lid on, and these can last for years if you seal the lids tightly. So that's an introduction to string gel. I hope you have fun with that. Give it a try. I'm going to share a project in another video that I've done with it. But you can do this however you like. I always encourage people to take a medium in their own personal direction. There's never a right or wrong way to use these, so be inventive and playful and have fun with it.